Club members. I am Kyla. This is Kiri, your host.
Welcome back, everyone. Hello.
Hello. That was very British. Hello. This month we are talking about Grand Cru. However way you want to spell it, we have Grand Cru, as in a village, C-R-U. We've got great crus behind our champagnes today. 2 stunning champagnes. Another 2 exclusives for the Emperor Champagne Club.
Absolutely sourced directly for you.
Amazing. Before we start to talk about the wines and what Grand Cru means, I just want to step back in history a little bit, and I think it's important because there's so much that's happened in Champagne's history that brings us to the present day and what that looks like.
Exactly, and I wanted to discuss exactly why the Grand Cru or the Echelles Cru system came into place. Kyla had some really interesting history about why that was.
So Grand Cru is your highest ranking village in Champagne. So it's given 100% classification.
So top 1% of vineyards.
Exactly right. And only 9% of the land in Champagne is Grand Cru. And there are 44 parcels, although only 17 in the beginning classifications. Premier Cru is the second tier down, and that's anywhere from 90 to 99% ranking.
That's right.
And then under that we have Other Cru, Cru. And originally this pricing clarification system came in the mid-19th century after a very turbulent period in Champagne's history. And up until that point in time, we had some of the Champagne houses who were buying parcels of fruit from the vignerons, the wine growers, but they had these agents that were working for them that were buying the fruit. The commissionaires.
Yeah.
And they were essentially rewarded on how low they could get the price. So their bonus was determined on how much bargaining they could do with the vignerons in terms of the price of the fruit. They used bribery. They used intimidation. They used violence.
Not nice people.
To pressure the growers to give them the right price. And then further to that, Kiri, and this sounds unfathomable in the modern day of time.
Oh, they would have been strung and quartered.
The Champagne houses were actually bringing in cheaper fruit from the Loire Valley and the Languedoc to supplement their Champagne parcels.
Can you imagine this?
Blasphemy. There is no way that you can use fruit that's grown outside of that 34,000 hectares of fruit in the Champagne appellation today in that boundary. But this was what was happening.
So the Echelles Cru system came into play to allocate villages such as Verzy and Ambrosie and all the Grand Cru areas and Premier Cru areas so that they can lock in prices per tonne. So
the Champagne Society would set a price per kilo, and if you were 100% on that ranking, you got that whole price per kilo. If you were a bit lower, 99% down to 80% is really the lowest that you would go.
Correct.
Just to stamp out this bad behaviour that was happening in the Champagne region. But the criticism in modern day is that Grand Cru is on a whole village, and a village is large, Kiri.
And there's variabilities, and so they don't take into account the variabilities of that Grand Cru area. So one parcel may really be quite different to another amazing parcel in, say, Ambrosie or in Les Menil-sur-Ager and so forth. So actually there's some Premier Cru villages like Ambrosie, for example, which I love, Kyla loves as well. That's 99% rated now. There's some amazing plots in that strip that equally compete with those in the Grand Cru areas. So what are you paying for?
And in Burgundy,
it's actually about knowing which plots to go for.
Of course, Kiri. And in Burgundy, our neighbour, we classify based on vineyard and not on the entire cru.
That's right.
However, today we are going to look at 2 Grand Cru champagnes, really beautiful fruit parcels.
Excellent.
And the first producer that we are featuring for this month, coming to all our lovers and all our connoisseurs, is from the Maison Louis de Sacy, which is located in Verzy. This is a beautiful home. We've got a lot of history and heritage. We're talking vineyards planted from 1633.
The 13 generations of family, which is really quite substantial. It's probably some of the oldest families in Champagne, would you say, Carl?
Yeah, and originally producing still wines and then moved across to sparkling wine at a certain point in time. Of course, now really the only thing that's produced in the Champagne region, bar a few still wines that come out from time to time. We've got so many generations. At the moment, at the helm of the house, we have Jonathan and Yale. Yale and I have had many emails backwards and forwards over a long period of time, but we first discovered the Maison sitting high in the treetops of a beautiful forest.
Correct. It's the Montagne des Reims pocket and the forest overlooks the Verzy, Verzenay, and area pockets of land on the Grand Cru sites. And one of the producers, Louis Sacy, was being poured by the glass there, and we discovered them.
One very memorable champagne tour.
It was just excellent, overlooking where the fruit had come from, and we were quite taken aback by the style and thought, you know what, we should probably reach out to these guys
and feature them.
So after many, many months and years, we've actually finally got their wines, and what a beautiful wine it is.
It is. First cuvee that we're featuring today from Louis de Sacy, Grand Cru, in its name. We have 80% Pinot Noir, we have 20% Chardonnay, all from the Verzy vineyards.
All coming from Verzy. Verzy's a very dynamic and very interesting spot. There's lots of different types of soil. Going back 200 years, it was actually a flint mine, so a lot of that minerality and the style in the fruit, you really see minerality in the fruit. And it's just gorgeous. I love what they've done with this. It's not too heavy.
Oh, but it's quite warm and it's quite rich. It's the 2015 base year, and I remember being in Champagne in 2015.
Yeah.
And damn, was it hot!
It was
in
very
the height
hot
of the vineyard.
Yes,
height of summer.
Yeah, I remember that, and it was a good year overall for production champagne, because they could pick at the right time, retain that acid, but keep some of that richer style of fruit, which you really see in that, don't you?
Well, for me, it's all rich yellow stone fruits, but you've also got, as you say, this kind of flinty, chalky minerality. So you drive that beautiful pathway between being super rich and a little bit on the bony side, and it navigates a beautiful pathway in between. So it's moreish, but it's also a lot of warmth, a lot of suppleness, a lot of roundness on the palate. Beautiful mid-weight.
And I love the use of dosage. I don't often say that, but it's actually perfectly balanced. It gives you everything that you want to see in the wine, and I love that sort of herbal, sort of flinty finish, and love this white pear that comes through.
5 grams of dosage for those of you wondering at home. Sensational cuvee. I thought it was beautiful.
It's great. So the next house we're looking at is Petit Bajan. And Petit Bajan are a marriage of two wonderful human beings.
And wonderful vineyards.
And vineyards, which happens to be the case in Champagne.
They're married for love, we're sure
of it. Richard Petit, or Richard, as they probably be saying in France, and Veronique Bajan. So Richard's family have sort of ancestry in many, many years in Champagne, a couple of hundred years in fact, in Avize. So lots of groups there. Yes, and they also have some plots in Les Menils-sur-Auger, and I think it's Auger as well. So really good. And also in Verzenay, they have beautiful plots, or Veronique's family have beautiful plots of Pinot Noir, about 5 acres. So when they got together, it was like, we're always going to work with each other, but how are we going to put our love and passion together? So their focus is really about small batch champagne production. It's all about finding the best ways of communicating the terroirs together. And I think they've done such a good job.
And you know what I love about this house? You know, they are similar to one of their neighbours, Anselme-Solos. So they're all about picking late, so ripeness of fruit. So when everyone's done and dusted and in the winemaking facility, troubling and toiling, these guys are still in the vineyards picking the grapes at the very late stages. So you've got this ripeness, you've got this maturity, and that really does translate into the wine, and it's so beautiful. Yeah,
and there's a lot to be said for that. Solos and Petit still picking whilst people are, like I say, in the winery processing. So you're reaching optimum ripeness, and you can see that in the wine. We'll go into that in a moment. And I love the expression of it, and it really, really shows. So leading into the tasting profile of this wine, complete different style to the first
different
one.
Grape composition. So we have the wine Ambrosie.
Yes.
So here we are leading with Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Correct.
You know, I like the house are very moderate on their dosage, so never more than 3 grams across the range. And you can get away with that if you've got ultra ripeness on your fruit.
Yeah.
You know, you've got that richness, the suppleness coming through in the glass, and just that little bit of dosage to carry that along the palate.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we always look at is the balance of fruit sweetness or maturity sweetness, which you get in the natural grape, versus the dosage, which is completely different type of sugars we're talking about. And what I've got from here is this lovely sort of, you know, marmalade-y, grapefruit, quite an intense attack on the palate, and then it sort of just subsides. It's really quite soft and delicate.
And for me,
just
a
keeps
bit
going.
of nectarine, a little bit of apricot.
Yeah.
You know, there's a suppleness to it, but there's also a minerality that pulls through.
Yeah, for sure. You see that being majority Avize that comes through, and then the Verzy, Verzenay Pinot, pardon me, actually really picks up in the end and finishes that red.
Talking about some linearity and purity, followed by some roundness, and then melded together and joining the two worlds together.
Yeah, I love it.
So another amazing month of champagne to Grand Cru wines, the best fruit from the best families, you know.
Best fruit, best families, good tradition, good knowledge, and one of the things we use to tie these amazing houses together is actually their understanding of production. You can have great parcels, doesn't mean you're going to just make great wine. You really need to know what you're doing.
And look, when we talk terroir, so terroir is all the conditions of the vineyard, a sense of place, but most people don't realise that it often includes the hand. It does include the deft of hand. So the winemaker behind the vines.
Yeah.
And you've got excellent parcels of fruit, but you've got family with know-how, a lot of passion, a lot of experience. And I think the wines are opposite in their composition of grapes and their style, but two beautiful examples of Grand Cru vineyards. They are both exclusive to you at the Emperor Champagne Club. We hope you enjoy them.
Yes.
We've enjoyed them.
We've loved them. And we're going to take them back with the team and taste them. Let's make sure they know what they taste like. So thank you. I want to say thank you so much to all of our club members, new and existing. We have got an exciting year planned for you with events.
2021, thank goodness we can finally do events again. We're going to have you into the warehouse.
Yes.
We are opening the doors to the warehouse. We'll have a lot of events this year. We are doing club events around Australia. We are doing some sparkling wine tours, Tasmania,
That's right.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
And we're actually planning a big gala event for all of our club members nationwide in June this year. So something very special. It will be coming out very soon.
Yep.
We look forward to seeing you in person, but in the meantime, continue to enjoy the videos. If you've missed a video, you can head to the Emperor Champagne.
Yeah, you go to our
section,
YouTube channel,
or
if you can log into your exclusive area content, which has all the information, previous editions. Feel free to contact me or Carla if you've got any issues, and jump onto socials to have a look at Instagram, hashtag Emperor Champagne Club, and also our Facebook, dedicated Facebook page.
Community page.
Yeah.
Until the next month, see you later, everyone.
See ya. Like you keep looking at the back label, like it's going to give you more information than the last hour we've been going over notes and tasting. Suddenly there's something new. Wonderful. It's made in Champagne. Sorry. Wrap that one up.
We'll just wrap that up.
Good stuff. Hey, just quickly spin that right bottle. Yeah, no. Spin, Carla, spin. Yeah. Face it towards me a little bit more. That way. Bushman blow.
Off! How's it going, mate?
Force be with us. Now it's February, so we're not saying welcome back.
Alright.
That scarf last time?
No.
Didn't.
I will remember
Yeah,
this.
good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But you've worn that shirt like 30 times.
Should I change?
You're all good.
Can I change that?
You're all good, bro.
Seriously,
You're all
I was just thinking.
You just like blue. You just like blue. That's okay.
Dingleberry. So we're talking a marriage of love.
Passion in the groin area. Oh, madame, would you like to bump ugly? Oui, monsieur. Tonight, we will pick you up at 7. I'll have you in bed by 5 past. Sorry. It's just, I can't help it. I can't. I just imagine that's what they'd say to each other.
5
in French.
minutes of courting. What a champion. Look, seriously, if courting was a national sport in France, they would win gold in the Olympics.
How many glasses of champagne did you drink? 5 minutes.
Didn't have any.
Yeah.
Post-coital.
I've seen that chef and I go, cyclists do it. What's with the cyclists?
Oh,
Put it on
man.
the
So
side of
you're
the
not going to get your hanky out and you're going to wipe your nose and put it back in your jokes because there's nowhere else.
Nasty.
goop on the floor.
Oh, stop it.